You need 8 hours of sleep.
I prefer it. Yes.
You get a little grumpy.
No, not even that. Like my recovery's off.
Yeah.
My brain's not working right. Dude, I was an Airedale,
I'm
okay?
Wyan, and I need 8 hours of beauty sleep.
Could you imagine this face with less than 8?
Mm,
Don't imagine it. It's not pretty.
I don't know. You're not off to that great of a start.
No, I don't know, man. I can function just fine off of 6 or something like that. I mean, it's not a big deal, but getting 3 or 4 hours consecutively, that is not enough sleep for me. Yeah, it's just I feel like I get sick easier when I'm only getting 3 or 4 hours of sleep every night for say 3 or 4 days. I feel like I start getting a stuffy nose and all that.
Well, you need to take more vitamins then.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I joke, like, I'm legitimately up at, like, my alarm goes off at 3:30. I'm usually moving out of the bed at 3:45, so I'm still not disciplined. When the alarm goes off, my feet hit the floor.
Yeah, but what time do you go to bed?
10 o'clock.
Okay, so you're getting around just under 6 hours.
Yeah. Like, I'm a 6-hour guy.
That's my issue too, is I'm a night owl, and
Yeah.
I've used that excuse my whole life. I know that that's something that I can change.
Yeah.
But, try and put my kids to bed at like 8 or 9. Sometimes it happens at 9:30, and
Right.
dude, I'm not going to bed in 30 minutes. There's no way. I got crap I need to do.
That's fair. Yeah. Bed 10, up by 4. I'd say 4.
Yeah.
Like, alarm kind of goes off at 3:30, and then my feet are on the ground around 4. And then I kind of lay there and just let myself wake up before I get out of bed and then start my day.
Do you go straight to your phone in the morning?
I go to the bathroom.
What I mean is when that alarm goes off at 3:30, are you rolling over and snoozing it, or are you like picking up your phone? I'm gonna lay here for 15, 20 minutes and scroll and wake up.
No, I don't do that.
Good.
I try really
Apparently
hard not
that's
to.
really bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's days that I have, like, I
yeah.
see notifications, then I immediately, like, boom, but I try not to.
Yeah.
But what I try to do, this is a Suffer Up podcast, guys, with Nate and Ryan. I just hit record because we were in the middle of a conversation, and I'm like, oh, we'll just start here. So a little bit of icebreaker. We are Nate and Ryan. This is Suffer Up.
Yep.
And where our mission is to encourage and lead others to suffer with a purpose, striving to level up in life with an emphasis on spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. So this is going to be one of those late night recordings, and I've been up since 3:30 and feeling really, really fresh. So
almost Nate's bedtime.
It is almost my bedtime. But back to your question, I get up and I try to read something.
Yeah.
Get up, take a pee, because I got to pee.
Always.
And then I stumble to the kitchen. First thing I do is make coffee.
I know I'm backing up. I know you're over 30, so do you get up in the middle of the night and pee too, or that hasn't started yet?
Sometimes.
That old man
when I'm
bladder.
hydrated correctly,
yeah,
I do have to get up.
Yeah.
When I'm not hydrated correctly, I can make it through the night. I don't need diapers yet, if that's what you're going next.
No. You just always hear like all the old guys talking about like, oh, I get up in the middle of the night and pee 3 times. Like, geez, dude.
Yeah, well, probably because they're not taking care of themselves.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Or they're very hydrated. I don't know. Maybe I'm underhydrated.
I don't know. It's those energy drinks, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Those
they're probably
energy
drinking
drinks.
Sweet tea and energy drinks.
Yes.
And
those things like go straight. I don't drink them hardly ever.
Well, your body can't absorb it. If you drink water, your body's like, oh, thanks, I needed this.
Yeah.
You don't have to pee any out.
No, it just takes all the crap out of it, and then you just bloop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not much.
No. So
that's probably it. Or coffee. A lot of people drink coffee at night.
I'm drinking some right now.
Yeah, but you gotta stay up for this.
Yeah, I gotta stay alert. But yeah,
I need you on point, Nate.
I need you to pay attention, Nate. So I go to the coffee pot and make coffee, and then I go to the table in my kitchen, and then I read for about 10 minutes and contemplate whether or not I'm going to run, but I always end up running anyway.
Contemplate when you're going to start running.
Yeah. And then I'm usually got my shoes on by about 4:30, start around 4:30, 4:45. And then depending if I got to go on shift, that'll dictate when I don't, like when I stop. But like I had a class at 8:30, so I did 13, like just under 2 hours.
Yeah.
I got 2 hours of running in before I went to class. Then I get to class and everybody's like waking up at 8:30.
They're just having their first
I'm
coffee.
like, hey guys, good morning. Feeling great. Just got done with a half marathon. That's why I like doing it.
They all think you're crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it is kind of the definition of crazy, but I'll take it.
No, my employees always used to say that I was crazy. Like, you run before you come to work and then do labor all day? Like, yeah.
Yeah. That's one more activity.
Yeah, working isn't the same as running.
But then when I'm done running, I eat
Yeah.
and I shower, and it's like a fresh start. Like I feel good. I'm
Do you
done.
have the same thing for breakfast every morning?
No.
No.
I should. It's usually eggs, a form of sausage or bacon. I don't eat like a ton of bacon, like 1 or 2 slices. And then after a run, I like sourdough toast with avocado.
Mm.
And that's pretty well. That's a heavy breakfast for me.
Yeah, eggs, bacon, sourdough.
Mm-hmm. And a bit of avocado on there. After like today, that was perfect amount of food.
Yeah, well, when you run 13 miles, you need to refuel.
Yeah, 100%. And then otherwise, I'll just do like non-fat Greek yogurt with some strawberries, some honey, and some flaxseed. Do that. Or sometimes I'll just do like 2-3 eggs. That's it. And an apple. But
my standard breakfast is 2 to 3 eggs with either a piece of toast, a half a bagel, or an English muffin.
English muffin.
Yeah, I love them. We get the Dave's bread.
Yeah.
Because it's got less junk in it. And yeah, you toast up an English muffin, put some butter on that.
Ooh.
Slap you an egg or 2 on there with some bacon. Man, that's a good meal.
That's a go sandwich right there.
Yep, that's delicious.
Hit that on the truck on the way to the job
the
site.
Ryan McMuffin.
The Ryan McMuffin.
We don't do this McDonald's crap.
No. I haven't had McDonald's in years now.
I can't tell you the last time I've had McDonald's.
McDonald's, ugh, it's disgusting.
I got to think about the last time I had fast food in general.
Really?
It's probably Culver's.
Culver's is what's up.
Culver's is like
I can get
borderline fast food.
I can get down on Culver's. I will tear up Culver's.
That's some good.
They are
good
so
stuff.
good.
I feel like it's better than McDonald's.
It's way better than McDonald's.
I mean, like better for you.
Oh,
obviously, it tastes better.
Yeah. I'd say the ingredients are probably a little better.
I think it is. I think before that, the last fast food I had was Whataburger.
Is it Whataburger or Waterburger?
It's not Waterburger.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay.
Whataburger.
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 The jalapeno cheddar sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit.
That was a lot
mouthful.
of words, dude. Is it literally a mouthful, too?
Yeah. The jalapeno cheddar sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit.
Doesn't matter if you slow it down. It's still a lot of words.
Yeah, it is. But I want to make sure everybody heard it. If you have a Whataburger near you,
A Whataburger?
a Whataburger, it's phenomenal. That's my favorite breakfast sandwich, especially in the duck blind, dude. Oh, I'll text the guys when I'm headed to the water. Hey, you guys want a jalapeno cheddar? I'm messing up. Jalapeno sausage, egg, and cheese cheddar biscuit.
Thing?
Yeah. You guys want a breakfast sandwich?
Yeah, say that 5 times fast.
I very rarely get a no. So my buddy Zach,
I'll give you a no.
he told me no once, and then I was eating, and he's like, "What is that?" It's a jalapeno cheddar sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. And he's like, "That looks delicious." I said, "I know," and you said no to it. I can't believe you said no. So
he's like, it was too many words. I didn't know what it was.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't, you slow down and said it right. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah,
I forgot Culver's is from
Wisconsin.
Yeah,
that's it. Culver's is what's up. Their kids meal is the hidden secret.
Yeah, you get a free ice cream.
Yeah, you get free ice cream. That's a no-brainer. You get a burger or chicken strips if you want them, chicken tenders.
Yep.
Fries.
They never check your age.
No, they
They'll
never
just
do.
give it to you.
They just give it to you. And then you get a coupon on the back, and you can get a free scoop of ice cream with your meal, and it comes with a drink.
Yep.
And if you save the Scoopy tokens,
then you get a stuffed
10 of
toy or something.
You could get a stuffed toy, or 10 of them will get you a free kids meal.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Oh, my kid's got one of the little stuffed toys. We got a soccer ball that says Culver's on it.
Yep.
Got a bunch of random Culver stuff, and I think we still have a lot of those little Scoopy tokens.
Oh, yeah. They're what's up.
We've been collecting them for years.
Yeah.
First place I had Culver's was over in Jacksonville, Florida.
Yeah.
It was like their first one in Florida, I think.
Yeah.
And it was good. Once I discovered it, it was like, oh, if we're getting fast food, that's where we're going.
Yeah. Yeah, Culver's is a staple growing up. It was
Yeah.
like every Sunday we went to Culver's growing up, and then now it's like a treat, Sundays when we come, because our church gets out a little late, and then we got to get the kids down for naps. So we'll either swing into Culver's and get that, or we'll do Moe's or Panera
Welcome to
Bread.
Moe's.
Welcome to Moe's.
I hate that place.
And well, it's great for the kids to eat.
No.
And on Sundays, kids eat free.
At Moe's?
Hmm?
Oh, really?
If you buy an adult entree. So I usually just get a bowl.
Nice.
Like salad bowl or whatever, and then I wish they had more Chipotles around here.
Yeah.
Do we even have a Chipotle?
There might be one out by the airport.
Yeah.
I don't know. I like Hot Heads burritos.
Hot Heads burritos.
Yeah. I don't know if it's chain or if it's just the one. It's on 9 Mile by Pine Forest.
Oh, no, I've never heard of that.
No. It's
sounds good.
very similar to Moe's.
Oh, okay.
But they don't yell
Big
at you when you walk
fat
in.
Burritos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Train like you fight.
Just going from burritos to that.
Train like you fight.
Yeah. Eat a burrito like you eat a burrito.
Eat a burrito like you would in battle. Oh my goodness.
How can we tie that in? Train like
we
you
can't.
fight.
I blanked and I just said the topic of today's discussion was train.
Realistically, you should be eating the food that you're going to eat.
There you go.
Race week.
Yeah.
Or that you would eat if you had a big event coming up. You should eat like that all the time, clean and healthy, and
somebody said it
to
me
fuel.
Once. Yeah,
eat to fuel.
Somebody said it to me once. They said, "Well, would you put 87 octane in a race car?" Like, well, no. Then why are you putting that crap in your body? I said, "Oh, that's a good point." It's like once you get better at whatever you're doing, you'll notice that the food will impact you more. I said, yeah, okay,
Yeah.
cool, dude. Well,
I'm a thoroughbred. Feed me like one.
Yeah. Well, I'm not anywhere close to that, but I have noticed more that the more healthy I eat, I notice when the bad food goes in. But then I think like when I was like really fat, I would eat Chick-fil-A and Culver's all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. But to your point, you should just be fueling your body. And like you should also be preparing yourself, because people are like, what are you training for? I don't know. Well, then why are you training? I don't need to train for something. I'm just training for whatever's next.
Yeah.
Life. Like,
I mean,
what if that dude over there snatches up one of my kids? I'm ready, son.
Yeah.
There
was a study done. I don't know all the facts about it, so I'm just going to ramble about it. But there was some study done somewhere by someone on predators, child predators, and they asked them what the number one deterrent of their activities was, and it was a strong dad. If they had not necessarily strong like you looked like you lifted 300 pounds, but like a formidable looking man around the children, and they were like, nah, next one.
You're not going to
We'll go on to an easier target where there's just a mom, or where nobody's paying attention, or you got some fat lard sitting on the bench eating McDonald's while their kids play on the park and they're not even watching them.
Yeah.
Like that's the target.
I see.
Yeah. So a strong, present father or male figure.
Yeah.
That is the number one deterrent for those kinds of bad people.
Yeah. Well, that's sick. And it's sick that we have to even think about all that in this world. But I tell you right now, I want to be ready for whatever may come my way. Whether I might have to run fast or fight hard, I don't know. Heaven forbid I don't have to, but
dude, I've seen enough Hollywood movies that there could be an earthquake, there could be an alien invasion. You got to be able to run and do pull-ups and things like that. Yeah. You'll be playing stuff in the clouds.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean, cloud seeding?
No, cloud seeding's real.
Like plowing the clouds and then putting seeds in there?
No, like they're manipulating the clouds. They're sending lasers.
Somebody's been watching the Sean Ryan show.
You're going to have to take the blue roof off this shop, okay?
No, I need to put a blue roof on it.
Oh, that's right. The blue roofs are safe. I see. I totally screwed that up.
That's why I have blue curtains.
Blue curtains. Yeah. Blue's blue's the power color.
Sure.
Yeah. But I tell you this, though.
Train how you fight.
Train how you fight. So the topic of today's discussion was kind of a I brought this topic up to Ryan. Like, I want to talk about this. Would be train how you fight and training scars, and kind of more in my profession of in the fire service. I'm not gonna go into any explicit details because it's kind of sensitive information. But we had a recent incident where basically we had a brand new guy
Weather
that
tech.
had no, it wasn't WeatherTech. We'll bring that up in a minute.
Oh, okay, that's a different story.
That's a different
Okay.
story. But this first story was without giving any sort of confidential information up. He is a new guy and he went out and did a heroic thing. And he did exactly how he was trained. He did everything perfectly on exactly how he was trained. And we trained him. So he's literally an image of how we trained him. He's not at my fire company. He's at a different company. But the actions that he did were incorrect. And
So he was trained incorrectly.
She was trained incorrectly. And then people ended up having a slightly negative outcome because of it. And so it brought up a really good topic in the firehouse of, we are not going to do that. Why? What was the situation and why did he behave this way? And we got to talking and we realized that there are other people that thought the same way. Like, well, that's how we've done it in training. Are we not supposed to do that?
Yeah, you got to have that conversation of, well,
Right.
whose fault is it?
Right.
Is it his fault for doing the wrong thing?
I don't blame him at all.
No, or is it somebody else's fault, the team's fault for training him incorrectly?
But what it ultimately boils down to was in the fire service, and I'm sure you could attest to this in the military, we don't train people to think. We train people to do sometimes. And so it's like you see scenario A, do scenario B, or do like A, B, C in that order.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like all the time, but in this specific situation, he did exactly how he was trained to do. He was very task oriented and didn't think. It was a decision for him to use his brain and think in a dynamic situation.
You're talking about like critical thinking versus procedural thinking.
Correct.
It's very, very difficult to train somebody in critical thinking.
Yep.
Whereas procedural training or thinking is very easy. These are the steps, you memorize them and you do them.
Yes.
I think that the highest level organizations do a lot better job at, I wouldn't even say training the critical thinking because I don't think it's something you can train, but it's like something that you can foster and allow to grow. But the highest level organizations, like you think Navy SEALs, like those guys do a lot better job at fostering that critical thinking skill.
Yeah.
And allowing your team members to see this is where you are, this is where you need to get, or this is the end goal that we're looking for.
Figure it out.
You determine the middle.
Yep.
But in a larger organization with maybe less talented or skilled individuals, you have to, at least this is something that they always say. I don't know how true it is, but they always say you have to train to the lowest denominator.
Yeah.
So your dumbest guy is who you're basing all the training on.
Which is dumb.
Why can't we just build that guy
better, up? And we have to pull him up.
Yeah.
Which is fine because by pulling him up, the team gets better.
Yes, but we don't give the team the opportunity to do that because we train to him and everybody else just falls to his level.
Okay. You got me fired up now.
Okay.
All right. We're there now. We're in it. Why is it I just got done listening to one of Jocko's books too. The Dichotomy of Leadership. Awesome book. If you haven't read it, go back and read it. If you're a leader and you're not reading these books, then you should probably do it. Anyway, he talks about this guy that he has in the teams, and they bring him to him, and they're like, "Hey, he's not making the cut. He's just not doing it. He's not making it. Like, we're training him. He's just not getting it." Jocko says, "Did you try this? Did you try this? Did you try this? Did you do this?" And they all respond, "Yes, he just isn't getting it." They said, "Well, what if we just move his role? Like, what if he drives the Humvee? What if he is kind of more like backstage behind the scenes? He's still a SEAL, but until we can kind of build him up, like a progressiveness, so he's not making those tactile decisions on the fly," which is where he was struggling. But ultimately what ended up happening was they went to the SEAL, like, Trident review board, and then they pulled his Trident because he just couldn't after multiple attempts, right?
Yeah.
But why is it in the American Fire Service we are not upholding physical standards of performance? I don't have an answer. I don't know the answer, and it drives me nuts. I don't have an answer. The answer is we're afraid to fire people.
Oh yeah,
That's one of the reasons, because HR is a thing, right? And
HR, DEI, and the fact that
Yeah.
we physically need bodies, we need people.
right. But like the SEAL team, if you're not physically able to do the job, like they hold themselves to a really high standard,
Yeah.
obviously. Well, we could hold ourselves to a high standard, but like people then they'll say, well, what is the standard?
Yeah.
They can stretch a line, they can force a door. Like, yeah, but they don't have it. So then how do you articulate what the standard is? And what does the training look like to get them there? Like, that's a really deep topic, and it's really hard to know the answers to that.
I think it's already been established. The standard was established, and they do have what it takes, or did.
They met
Like
the
when
minimum.
you went through the fire academy, you were put in stressful situations. You managed to, make decisions and complete the tasks through those decisions, along with performing all the fitness requirements and the stretching a hose, whatever the other, performance-based things. The problem is they don't have a fire academy reboot every 3 years or 5 years.
Yeah. Now the military has something set up like that, where you have to like requal on certain topics. Kinda?
No, not in the general military. No,
Okay.
and you end up with the same thing.
Okay.
I mean, you could. Man, we're getting some kickback for this. You could go on any military base, or I'll be specific with the Navy at least, because that's
Sure.
what I was in. Go on any Navy base or Navy ship and find the Chiefs Mess, the
Yeah.
E7s, who've been in for at a minimum of around 10 years to 20 years.
Sure.
I would say that at least 50% of them are going to be overweight, if not more.
Sure.
I'm being gracious.
Yeah, that's fair.
So there is just the standard after you're in is a minimum. I mean, they have a PFT, a physical fitness test, every year,
But that's like,
but it's very minimal. I'm sure
Yeah.
you guys have a fire test.
not every year.
Oh, really?
That's what I'm saying,
That's
dude.
crazy. That's wild.
Like, you get in and you get fat,
Yeah.
and you can sit in that chair and get fat. I mean, like, I've watched a fireman. I'm not going to say what department, I'm going to say where. He climbed an aerial ladder at like 50 degrees, like easy climbing angle, in the bedded section. This is approximately 35 foot of climbing. Wearing his coat. He got to the top, came back down, and threw up in the bushes.
Oh, goodness.
Like, that's disgraceful. Anyway, it's like,
So
anyway, go ahead, keep going.
So I got two things on this.
Yeah.
So if you look at that's like talking the general Navy. If you look at higher level organizations within the Navy, like SEALs, like any of the special warfare, I would say when I was rescue swimmer, definitely not a SEAL. I'll make that clear, not a SEAL.
Yeah. Not a SEAL.
But higher level than regular Navy folk. We held ourselves to a higher standard, and we had a fitness test that we called a swimmer fitness test. That was every year, I believe. Might have been every 6 months. I don't know. We had it at least every year, and it's a higher level of fitness standard than our regular Navy PFT. We still had to do the Navy PFT, but we also had this in addition to. So we had that going for us, that kind of pushed us to stay somewhat fit. But you still had the Chiefs and stuff that were not in as good a shape as you would expect somebody that says they're a rescue swimmer to be in. Heck, I was even in that boat at one point. Like as an E5, I let myself go a little bit because it was like, oh, I just got to meet the standard. Like, just meet the minimums.
Yeah.
That's the standard. And I think that goes back to a more cultural thing in the workplace of what's the standard? Is the standard the minimums, or is the standard excellence?
Yeah.
I think when you think of the Navy SEALs and other people at top tier levels, their standard is excellence. Their standard isn't, well, you got to be able to do 4 pull-ups, so do 4 pull-ups.
Yeah.
No, theirs is like, you got to be able to do 4 pull-ups, so can you do 20?
Yeah, right.
We're going to compete for who can do the most. And there was some guys within my community who were like that, but not all of them. And that is a culture thing. And it's also a leadership thing that a lot of leaders in every industry, fire service, I'm sure too, as you make rank, you feel like the standards don't apply to you. And you're like,
Right.
oh, well, like I'm doing less of this so I can take the day off. I don't have to be as fit as I once was.
Sure.
But as a leader, you're
I ain't as
supposed to
fit
be.
as I once. Sorry. Go
Thanks,
ahead.
Toby.
As a leader. Go ahead.
As a leader, your whole team, your whole organization is looking to you
Yeah.
as the example. So if you're, as you age in the leadership roles and as you age in life, if you're letting yourself go more and more and more and slacking off in all the ways physically, then your team is going to do the exact same thing. As a guy makes rank, he's going to go, oh, now I got to do less of this because I've got more desk responsibilities or whatever.
Yeah.
When in reality, it should be flipped. It's like, how long can I keep this standard of excellence going as the leader? Like, I want my junior guys to be competing with me.
Yeah.
I want to be the best.
Right.
I want to be the top of the spear.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I'm going to get beat out by these young bucks coming in eventually, but I'm going to hold them off for as long as I can.
That's it. Yeah.
And that mindset is
Yeah.
not nurtured in these organizations.
No, it's not. And it's also funny, like, I want to also just play devil's advocate because when I first started in the fire service, I was in really good shape. I'm in better shape now than I was then, truthfully. But I was in pretty decent shape, like, got through the fire academy, like,
Yeah.
lean, mean, firefight machine. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you think
Yeah,
you're
we all
invincible.
are when we're fresh out.
Yeah, let's go.
Look at my abs.
Yeah, I got to my first fire, and I was a whoop pup in that front yard after
Yeah.
about 30 minutes. One is the adrenaline dump, and you don't really know what you're doing, and
Absolutely.
you're trying to navigate everything right. And I remember this big old dude just sitting there hooking sheetrock, like no big deal. And he's like, "What's the matter, boy? You tired?" And he's like way out of shape.
Got that old man strength.
Yeah, like just the blue collar working man strength.
Yeah.
So there's something to be said for that. Like, there's guys that can do the job that might not look it. But I'll also say this, that if we pull up and that air brake hits and there's a row of 5 people hanging out of windows throwing babies and we got to run 150 yards to go catch their children and throw a ladder to be able to get to them, and like time is ticking,
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to do that, man. But like your bread and butter, pull up, pull the line, go in, put it out, hook some sheetrock, do some blue collar work and get dirty. All right, cool. But that 1% call, that one career fire, that one career call where you've got to spring into action and you have not trained yourself and your body to handle one, stress. If you're not putting yourself in stressful situations, how do you expect to respond in a stressful situation? Are you engaging your parasympathetic nervous system, or are you staying in your sympathetic? Are you a fighter or are you a flighter? Everybody thinks they're a fighter until the rubber meets the road.
What's that saying? Everyone's got a plan until they get punched in the face.
Yeah, for real, man.
It's like,
If
life's going to punch you in the face, man.
Yes. If you've never been punched or rocked, just ask your buddy to do it once for you.
Yeah.
Because like you need to feel it in a controlled environment first before you get rocked on the street.
You're gonna be like, oh crap.
Yeah. Like I remember the first time I got a good lick and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You take a step back.
Yeah.
And life's gonna do the same thing. And to that point, if one way that I see that guy may be able to hook the drywall and do the job just fine, but one way that I see that a lot of these guys who are letting themselves go physically and not training for the job, that they suffer is in the endurance of it.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got to be, like in my case as a rescue swimmer, if we're rescuing one person, everybody could probably do that.
Yeah.
As a swimmer. If you had 6 people to rescue and one of them's trying to hang on your back, and like the dynamic changes a ton, you're going to spend a lot more time in the water.
Yep.
You're going to be fighting off somebody that's trying to cling on you. All these different things come into play, and it goes, okay, well, I was prepared for the minimum. I could rescue one person, 2 people, but now I'm in here a lot longer. Now I'm becoming a liability.
Yeah.
Just like a firefighter, if you're not training to sustain that workload for a couple hours on end, I don't know how long you guys have to work until you get a break, but you could potentially become a liability to your own team. Like older dudes on the fire service having heart attacks because they're overworking themselves because they don't train for it.
It's the number one killer is cardiovascular disease in firemen.
That's sad.
That's the number one killer, and that's preventable.
Really sad. Yeah.
That's preventable, man. Like,
Man.
Yeah. But no, like you said, man, you got to train like you fight. So like, I'm going to give a couple examples, kind of segue to like the second point I kind of want to talk about was, I do certain things, and I've alluded to it, but like I do certain things when we train of like, we're not going to create training scars. Like you'll hear that term thrown out there quite a bit, like training scars. So for instance,
What's that?
what's up?
What does that mean?
Yeah. So for instance, if like I've seen it a lot in my training of like, when I was a brand new guy, you go and you search the fire building, and then you bring out these mannequins, which are simulated victims, essentially, right? And then you go, oh, here's EMS, and you just kind of drop the victim off at whoever's riding on the ambulance or EMS service, and then you go back and you continue your search until the whole building's cleared. And the philosophy of the building is not cleared until we clear it. So even if somebody says everybody's out, statistically, it's like a 50-50 shot if that report is actually accurate.
Yikes.
It's actually less than 50%. It's actually more than 50%. So like,
so it's more likely that there's someone still in there.
Especially if we hear that. Yeah.
Wow.
So the Firefighter Rescue Survey, you can go on there and see the statistics from rescues and grabs that have happened on structure fires. And it's crazy the amount of like that whole campaign of what it has done in the fire service. It's incredible. But so back to my point about training scars is, we'd bring them out, we drop them off. Well, I noticed across the country there was cases of firemen that would bring these victims out in the front yard, and here's EMS, and then they would go back in the house, and they would leave a victim in the front yard unconscious and unconscious or dead.
Was EMS actually there?
And nobody was there because
wow.
they've created a training scar of drop and go back, drop and go back, drop and go back.
So you could have had a possible... you could have had the possibility of saving this person's life, but because you left them,
right,
now they died.
But that's a training scar.
That's
because
awful.
You've now trained yourself that is the acceptable behavior in that environment of you drop and then you go back and you continue your search.
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that the search isn't important. Like, you still need to finish your search. But so then at my old company, I said, okay, guys, I'm seeing this across the country. I don't think it's right. I think that we need to bring them out. And when we're done with the scenario, like, okay, we bring the victim out, we immediately do just 10 chest compressions.
Do some basic first aid.
Just 10.
Yeah.
Yep. Just do 10 chest compressions, because now we're building the habit and the muscle memory
of treating them
as soon as they come out in our gear.
Yep.
And so like there is that correlation of bringing them to a safe space, 10 chest compressions, and then that way you're creating those habits.
Maybe even work into that, if you're not already, work into that saying, hey, bystander, do you know CPR? Come over here and do this. Like, get somebody else in possession of that person, and then you go.
Then you can go.
Because you got to be able to hand them off.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's another example. Another example is in the morning when you check your air pack off, you let it go through the pass device and it makes all the sounds for when you're still. You would always like let it go, and then you would double tap to reset the pass device. Well, what they found was that downed firemen, when they were found, were holding the pass device in their hand, and they were subconsciously clicking it, because every time in the morning they hear it, and they hear the sound, it gets to the final sound.
Like your alarm. You're hitting snooze in your sleep.
And then they bloop, bloop, and they cancel it. So then in a stressful environment, you do exactly how you're trained.
Wow.
They're holding the pass device, and they're canceling it, or they're shaking it. Like, that's not what it's there for. So then when I heard about that, I'm like, that's a training scar. Now I let my pack run through, and I don't touch the pass device, and I let it run for 5-6 seconds. And then I touch it and turn it off. So like, it's crazy how we condition ourselves subconsciously in a lot of ways that we do. And like, if you're listening to this, I'd encourage you to think about your day-to-day actions and how you're subconsciously training yourself to respond to certain situations.
So you're very intentional with turning that off. And like, you almost make it a point to think about like, okay, I'm going to turn this off now.
Yep.
That way, if it's ever a real situation, you're trained to go, okay, I'm not going to turn this off.
Yep.
Like,
100%.
I'm thinking about this.
Yep.
That's good. It's
so
really good.
There's a lot of little things. The same thing, like I tell guys when we're done working out, we don't take any gear off. Nothing comes off until we touch the truck. So you see the truck's safe, touch truck, take gear off. Touch truck, take gear off. So then, because I had a house fire where I was pinned down, got really, really hot, the first thing I always took off when I was done with a workout with my gloves. Well, here I am, burning up, and the first thing I want to do is take my gloves off. Like subconsciously, when the heat hits you, your body does weird things. Started to take my gloves off. I'm like, wait, no. So ever since then, I have to touch the truck before I take anything off.
Yeah.
And I'm conditioning myself to safe space. I can take my
tagging out.
I'm really weird about it, but it's because I've been exposed to certain stressful situations, and I realized that I had created training scars within my training.
Those are good lessons.
So, I encourage you guys to think about some training scars and what you would consider a training scar. Some areas in your life where you're conditioning yourself and you don't even really realize that you're conditioning yourself.
Yeah. I've got an example that's the opposite. It is a way that we did not create training scars. When we would do overland search and rescue training, a lot of guys focus and zone in on the portion of the rescue where you're getting somebody out of the woods into the aircraft. There's a bunch of procedures and stuff with that, and all that is a big chunk. And so you get somebody safely into the aircraft, and you've rescued them. What then they fail to remember is it's just like dropping off the patient in the front yard for you.
Yeah.
Is like, well, now you got to fly this guy to the nearest hospital, to the higher level of medical care. And it was the same thing. People would get in the aircraft, start taking their gloves off, start taking their stuff off, and just sit back and go, man, we did it. We rescued. And you go, no,
still got more work to do.
No, you didn't. So my command did a really, really good job, and I inherited the SAR, our search and rescue program, as the lead instructor for that. I inherited a good program that we had already been conditioned to get in the aircraft and immediately roll into our medical care.
Yeah.
As much as we could do in the aircraft.
100%.
And so as soon as you get there, the rescue complete up in the aircraft, well, now your medical scenario starts. And you do that as we fly back to base. And when we land at base, now your scenario is actually complete.
Oh, wow.
Now it's done. So
that's good.
You get a whole training evolution of not just doing the rescue, the quote unquote rescue in the woods, but you get to do the medical portion also. And that was a really, really good way of doing it, because you can go out and do a bunch of hoist work and training and practice the physical rescue of it all you want. You can do that for 2 hours and then come back home. But if you don't do the whole thing in sequence like that, like you said, you're going to develop training scars. You're going to develop bad habits. So that was an example of a way that we did a good thing.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like the biggest thing is we can just kind of get passive at training, kind of like what you alluded to. We just kind of like, oh, okay, we got to do training. Let's run through the motions. Okay, cool. Well, I tell you right now, from personal experience, if you just float through training and you don't think about the little nuances or the little things that you could potentially create bad habits, like the whole saying practice makes perfect, I kind of disagree with that. Perfect practice makes perfect performance.
There you go.
And so like that's a lot of P's, but you have to practice perfectly in order to have perfect performance.
Yeah, just like the guy that you were talking about earlier, he practiced a bunch and he did all the procedures perfectly.
Yeah.
But he was wrong.
Because
he was trained
and
wrong.
It's not his fault.
Yeah.
Like I've given enough information that if you're listening to this, I love you. And you are the only one that knows, because I know you know what I'm talking about, but I did not divulge.
If you know, you know.
If you know, you know. And I mean all this out of love, and I don't mean any bit of this because like it was a very tough situation and you did an absolutely awesome job at what you did. But at the end of the day, it's a topic that needs to be discussed.
At the end of the day, we, the department, your team failed you.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it.
100%.
And that's the way that all these organizations should be looking at their failures. A lot of people like to hang one guy out to dry, and
it's not the new guy's fault. And that's another thing, man. Like people want to blame the new guy. Yeah. It's not the new guy's fault because they don't know anything. You know what I'm saying?
How can you blame the lowest common denominator? Like we were talking about earlier. How can you blame the guy that knows the least, has the least experience, and was not in charge?
Yeah. All that tells me is that, one, you were probably trained incorrectly.
Yep.
2, the people above you haven't taken the time to talk to you about this topic. And that's what I'm fearful of.
Yeah.
As I would call myself a little bit more of a mentor now, like I would
as you age in the department.
Yeah, as you age in the department, you become more of a mentor and you start like talking about these things. I am fearful of the day that my new guy does something and I never had a chance to talk to him about it.
Yeah.
Or I failed to talk to him about it. It's
Well,
like people hoard knowledge as power.
just the fact that you're talking about that and thinking about that is a good sign. That you talked about Jocko's book earlier. Another one of his books, Extreme Ownership,
Yeah.
is that right there. Like you're practicing it. That when somebody screws up, you're gonna go, man, what did I not do? What did I not tell this guy? How did I fail this guy
Yep.
and not allow him to perform
Yep.
in the way that he was supposed to?
Yes.
Um,
On the hindsight, though,
Yeah.
the receiver, the new guy in this scenario that we're talking about, that new guy needs to have an attitude of being teachable and humility, because
always learning.
it's very hard when you, as the mentor, are put in a position where you are pouring into somebody and they already got it figured out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a two-way street.
Yeah.
And it's obviously a very deep, like very dynamic, I should say, topic. But I'm passionate about it. But at the end of the day, I don't blame the new guy for these things, because that means that their mentors did not take time to teach them, and that's a direct reflection of them.
Yeah.
Or the organization as a whole.
Well, I'll say this: like when I was a new rescue swimmer in the Navy, I was that guy that was probably really hard to teach. Felt like I knew a
Yeah.
lot. I was some hot shot. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Wasn't at all. But the thing that kind of changed that for me was having good leaders.
Mm-hmm.
You have some crummy leader who's not investing in themselves in a leadership role. Like they're
Yeah.
not reading these books. They're not trying to be a better leader. They're just going to tell you something, expect you to understand it or take it for face value, and just because I said so.
Yeah.
That doesn't always help your new guys. These guys are probably coming in with a chip on their shoulder because
Yeah.
they just accomplished something.
Yeah.
They feel good. You know that they're going to come in that way because you were in their shoes at one point.
Everybody
you came
goes
in that
through
way.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody goes through that phase. Some people's phase lasts longer. Some people are more pricks about it than others. I
Yeah.
probably was. But when you get a good leader who's willing to take the time to say, this is what we're doing, this is why we're doing it. Like, I need you to understand the why behind it.
Yeah.
That's why we care. This is why this matters. It really can help that new guy go, okay, it's not about me. Like, they're not trying to teach me this because you're able to release some of that pride.
Yeah.
You think that everybody's trying to show you something new because they don't think you know what you're doing.
Right.
Or they're like, this guy's an idiot. No, it's not all about that. It's like, hey, there's maybe a better way to do it that you weren't taught. You know, maybe you went through training and new stuff's come out since you went through training, and this is the new way of doing it that's better.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's like, hey, I've seen this in real world and it doesn't work quite like we do it in training.
Yeah.
So this is the better way to do it.
Yeah.
And you just don't know these things, and you don't have the respect for somebody if they're not willing to explain that. So I agree.
Yeah.
It is a two-way street. It takes the leader being willing to have patience and explain a little more than they probably want to.
Yeah.
You can't just be a boss. You
No.
got to be a leader.
You got to be a leader. Yeah. Set the example, be the example.
Yeah.
And then have the discussions, you know? And I mean, oftentimes in a leadership role, you've got to just humble yourself and just like, you got to get down there in the weeds with it, man, and just do it. Like,
Yep.
But yeah, I'm really passionate about this topic, and it's something that it's just recent events that of things that have happened. And I'm like, man, we really need to address that in the podcast. But if you're in a position, I'll leave like with this. If you're in a position of leadership, it's okay to admit your faults. And if you haven't really thought about this dynamic of training scars and being aware of little things that you're doing indirectly that are slightly maybe complacent, address them with your company and lay out your expectations. And when I say company, I mean fire company, military unit, your office, business, wherever. You can insert anything here. Small areas of complacency can lead to bigger consequences. And so if you aren't preparing your mind for those things, when the stressor does present itself, not if, but when, you're able to now respond appropriately. And that can be in all facets and areas of life. So, yeah.
There's always room for improvement.
Always.
I'll leave it with that. There's always room for improvement. So even a lot of these companies, as you said, will do things out of safety. They do things normally out of safety.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, in the military, we had our briefs every time before we went and flew. Um, that's good. You need that. That's how you create a safe environment and a safe training environment. But every once in a while, you need to try and practice real world. Like, hey, we just got a call. How quickly can we do this thing where we get in the aircraft and do it all safely?
Yeah.
But how fast can we do it and get to where we're going?
Yeah.
And then you debrief. You come back and you do an after action report.
Yep.
You look at everything, make sure it was all done safely. If it wasn't, you address it. But you need to put yourself in those stressful situations. So even if you're already doing that kind of stuff, or you're already kind of implementing some of the stuff like Nate was describing, there's always room for improvement. You can sit back and look and go, okay, what if this? What if that? And train to those what ifs and then review them after the fact.
Yep. 100%. And that's a great example. Do a debrief on different situations, whether it be a fire, whether it be a rescue, whether it be a save, whether it be
do a debrief on training.
On training, yeah.
So that you can practice that.
Yeah.
And when you do a real fire and you come back and you go, oh, it's time to debrief, the guys aren't like, I don't really know.
Yeah.
Like, no, it needs to be a normal occurrence. After a training evolution, you do a debrief and go, okay, what were the goods, bads?
Bads, uglies, yeah. And I mean, in schools, they got to do the active shooter drills now. Take it seriously. Like, you don't know if it's going to happen to you, you know? Take it seriously, teachers. In your offices, what are your daily procedures? What are the things that you are doing on a day-to-day basis? And train on them.
As minute as a fire drill.
Yeah.
Everybody hears that fire alarm go off, and everyone's like, oh, here we go.
This is the popcorn in the lounge.
The monthly fire drill. I got an email about this.
Yeah.
It was going to happen this week. Like, maybe it's the real deal.
100%. Yep.
Are you making sure that if you're the last person out of the office, are you making sure that you're actually the last person out?
Yeah. And I think too, in public safety, like, or military, whatever, like you're trained with a different mindset because you see the worst in the world. But like when I go into office buildings and when I go into churches and schools and stuff like that, I'm constantly marking exits. I'm constantly counting stairs. I'm noticing where the elevator shafts are and the stair access is. All that stuff is constantly going through my brain. Sometimes it puts me in overdrive, but it's because by doing those things, I am subconsciously training, because then the next time I go in that building, I now know where those things are.
Yep.
And so,
or in a stressful situation,
I've marked
you know where those things are.
Did you know, we'll end on this here because we're like getting really long-winded with this, but did you know that in an emergency situation, this has been proven time and time and time again, you could walk into a room, like say a gymnasium, you come in through the alpha side, which should be the front. You come in and you sit down. You're in the middle of the auditorium, and you've got 10 exits. Majority of the people will like say a bad guy walks in the room, they're going to leave the exact exit that they just went through because that's familiar. But there's
whether it be the safest or not,
or the closest,
could be a fire right there. And
they're going to go to the one they came through because they know that way.
That's crazy.
They're not going to, it takes intentional effort to leave a different door than where they came in.
Yeah.
But just watch the behavior of people. And I do this a lot. People will come in a door, they'll sit down in church, especially. They get up and they go out that door. But there's like 5 other doors they could leave out of.
Yeah.
And I've caught myself doing the same thing. And I'm like, okay, I have to force myself to get out of a ritualistic habit. And I'm going to force myself to go through a different door this time. It's a lot. It's weird.
No,
but
I completely get it. And I don't want to make this too much longer. We can talk about this more on another episode.
Okay.
Of like being the protector or the man of your house and stuff. But one thing that I do, a quick synopsis, is if I go into a place like, say, for instance, church, my church, I've been going there long enough, I'm familiar with it, but that's a bad example. If I go to like a concert, a new venue or something, I'll go with my wife, we'll sit down in our seats, and then a few minutes after we're sitting there, I get up, I gotta go to the bathroom, I say. I do have to go to the bathroom. I will get up and go to the bathroom, but I normally do a whole lap around the place.
Yeah.
I like scope the whole place out.
Mm-hmm. I'm the same way.
I'm looking at exits. I'm looking at security. I'm looking at like everything around there, just getting a feel for the area, a general layout in my mind. That way, it just is there. You know, if I ever need to know it, it's there.
Exactly.
And it's a, I think it's definitely more of something that men do than women.
Yeah.
It has to do with, directions and being
Yeah.
oriented in the space that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas women are like, I don't know, we came in from behind us, so we got to go behind us. You're like, well, you can get to behind us by going left and then left again and then
Right.
back. And like, they're just like, oh, I was just going to go back.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's a really good practice in my opinion
Yeah.
to do a little walk around. It doesn't take hardly any time.
Nope.
Stretch your legs, get some physical fitness.
Yep. Yeah. But that is another example of a training scar.
Yep.
Like you can apply this anywhere. So, yeah, guys, we'll leave you with that. Identify some training scars in your daily routine. Excuse me.
Identify some room for some areas of
Yeah.
improvement.
Yep.
For you to take back to your team.
Yep, exactly. And if you're in a position of leadership, bring this back to your team and let us know if it impacts your team somehow. And let us know, give us your thoughts. Maybe you disagree with some of the stuff we said. I'd love to have the discussion with you because I feel pretty strongly about this stuff. But training scars are a real thing. And so
maybe you think you've got the best training in the world.
And I would love to hear it.
I'd love to come witness that and poke holes in it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. You can always ask someone with an outside view to look at what you're doing, and you'll recognize very quickly that you don't have it all figured out.
Nope.
So
I've said it before
get some
in the
outside
fire
help.
service. You might think you got it all figured out, and as soon as you do, this job will humble you, and it will humble you in a hurry.
I think that's just life.
That's just, yeah, you can apply that anywhere, but especially in, rescue swimming too, like in the Navy, and water will humble you. Humbles me every time I get in it.
He's taking a bath and he's like, I hate this thing.
Oh, it's so bad.
I got water in my eye.
Thank you again, guys, for tuning in to this episode of the Suffer Up Podcast with Nate and Ryan. Stay tuned every Monday for a new episode drop. We thank you so much for your attentive listening and dealing with us on this late night as we are recording.
Yep. Check out our link tree. Check out our sponsors, Sofsocs.
Yep.
And thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Suffer up.